McDonald's is putting AI in all 43,000 of its locations. OpenAI wants $20,000 a month for its top AI agent. The Fed is warning about an economic slowdown, and roughly 172,000 jobs vanished in February. How are these headlines connected? More importantly, what do they mean for your business strategy in 2025? Today, I'm breaking down this week's biggest tech stories and translating them into practical insights for founders, small business owners, and tech professionals alike. Let's get started. What if I told you some companies are now paying the price of a new car every month for AI help? It sounds unbelievable, but that's exactly what's happening with OpenAI's latest offering. They've rolled out a tiered system of autonomous AI agents, and the price points are jaw-dropping. From $2,000 at the low end, up to an eye-watering $20,000 per month for the premium tier. And no, that's not a typo. So what do you get for that kind of money? We're not talking about just a slightly smarter chatbot here. These are autonomous agents, AI systems that can make decisions on their own without a human pulling the strings every time. OpenAI says the top-tier agent operates at a PhD level across professional tasks. In other words, it's not just answering your questions, it's proactively identifying problems and solving them in real time, almost like an extremely capable and tireless employee on your team. What really sets these agents apart is how they learn and adapt. Unlike typical AI tools that might start from scratch each session, these systems remember past interactions and outcomes. Over time, they become increasingly tailored to your company's needs, essentially getting smarter and more customized the longer you use them. This kind of continuous learning means they can deliver compounding value that a one-size-fits-all tool just can't match. OpenAI has clearly defined what each price tier offers. The entry-level $2,000 per month agent is like a super smart assistant for knowledge work. Think research, data analysis, and handling routine administrative tasks. Step up to the $10,000 per month tier, and you're getting more. This one can tackle specialized tasks like writing code or managing more complex projects, reflecting the higher value of those capabilities. And then there's the $20,000 per month ultimate agent, which aims to be as close as it gets to an autonomous business problem solver. This pricing strategy draws a line in the sand between what small businesses and big enterprises can access. A lean startup or a small company might stretch their budget to afford the $2,000 AI assistant and get a lot of benefit from it. But $20,000 per month, that puts the top tier agent firmly in Fortune 500 territory. It's a price only a larger enterprise could comfortably pay. So what on earth justifies that sky-high price tag for the premium agent? In a word, autonomy. The top tier AI doesn't just suggest solutions, it implements them. It can take initiative and carry out multifaceted tasks across different departments. If you think about the cost in terms of labor, suddenly the math starts to make more sense. A company shelling out $20,000 a month isn't simply buying an AI tool. It might be effectively replacing or supplementing several specialized employees. Consider the salaries, benefits, and overhead for, say, a data analyst, a customer service manager, and a market researcher combined. $20,000 might actually be a bargain for a system that can do bits of all those jobs around the clock. In essence, a premium AI agent at this tier could handle work that normally requires a whole team of highly paid professionals. That's why OpenAI can price it in the stratosphere. They're selling it based on ROI, return on investment. This signals a big shift in how AI services are being positioned. Instead of charging per user or feature, companies like OpenAI are charging based on the value and potential labor replacement their AI provides. It's a bold move, and it underscores just how much AI has matured from a nifty tool to a strategic asset. Now, while cutting-edge AI agents are commanding luxury prices in the software world, AI is also making waves in a very different arena, one that might surprise you. Let's switch gears from expensive AI software to fast food, where an iconic global chain is betting big on artificial intelligence in a way that could impact millions of people's everyday lives. Ever wonder what happens when a company with 43,000 locations worldwide goes all in on AI? McDonald's massive AI rollout is doing exactly that, and it's creating perhaps the largest real-world test of AI in retail we've seen so far. While we've been marveling at enterprise AI solutions that cost thousands a month, McDonald's is quietly transforming the fast food landscape with technology that might touch your life the next time you grab a burger. The scope of this initiative is huge. McDonald's isn't just installing a couple of new self-service kiosks and calling it a day. They're implementing AI technology across all 43,000 plus global locations. This is the largest AI deployment in retail history. Millions of customer interactions every single day are becoming part of this giant experiment. In effect, each McDonald's is turning into an AI laboratory, and all of us, as customers, are unwitting participants in this grand test of what AI can do in everyday business. What's really fascinating is how deeply AI is being woven into their operations. This goes way beyond just letting you place orders on a touchscreen. For instance, they're developing AI-powered drive-thrus that can recognize repeat customers and remember their preferences. Imagine pulling up to the drive-thru speaker and having the system greet you by name, then ask if you'd like your usual order, say Big Mac with extra pickles, no onions, before you even say a word. That's the kind of personalized experience McDonald's is aiming for with this technology, something that feels friendly and efficient at the same time. It's not just the customer-facing side that's getting smarter. Behind the counter, McDonald's is connecting kitchen equipment to the internet and arming it with AI brains. The goal is predictive maintenance, using AI to predict when a fryer or an ice cream machine is likely to break down before it actually happens. Think about how valuable that is. If the AI can flag that a fryer's temperature is fluctuating in a suspicious way, the store can fix or clean it during off hours, preventing a breakdown during the lunch rush. For a business where downtime directly cuts into revenue and frustrates hungry customers, this kind of preemptive fix can save a ton of money, potentially millions of dollars across thousands of locations, and keep the operation running smoothly. McDonald's isn't doing this alone either. They've partnered with Google Cloud to develop many of these AI-driven systems. Together, they're creating tools that help restaurant managers ensure orders are accurate and equipment stays up and running. If all goes as planned, these systems mean your order is less likely to get messed up, and your local McDonald's will run like a well-oiled or well-algorithmed machine. Fewer mistakes and less downtime could translate to faster lines and hotter fries for customers and better margins for the company. Now, it's worth noting that this kind of tech overhaul doesn't come cheap. McDonald's pouring resources into AI at this scale signals that they see these investments as essential to their future, not just a flashy experiment. They're treating AI as a core part of their business strategy, almost as important as their food recipes or real estate strategy, because they believe it will drive efficiency, customer satisfaction, and ultimately profitability in the years to come. And McDonald's isn't the only one in fast food embracing AI. Other chains are following suit, albeit on a smaller scale. For example, Taco Bell has introduced an AI tool called Byte, developed by its parent company, Yum Brands, to help restaurant managers optimize labor schedules and manage inventory. Industry-wide, we're seeing a trend. AI-driven ordering and management systems are popping up to speed up service, cut down wait times, and reduce human error. Those are all factors that directly boost customer satisfaction and encourage people to come back more often. The fast food industry has razor-thin margins and fierce competition, so any edge, like shaving 30 seconds off each drive-through order or ensuring the kitchen never runs out of burger patties unexpectedly, can make a big difference. So, what's the takeaway here for businesses outside of fast food? McDonald's big bet on AI shows that tech innovation isn't just for Silicon Valley. It's becoming fundamental even in traditional everyday industries. Whether you run a restaurant or a retail shop, the idea of leveraging AI to streamline operations and personalize customer experience is becoming more accessible and increasingly expected. McDonald's is essentially trailblazing a path. They'll absorb the early costs and lessons of rolling out AI at scale, and in time, those innovations, successful ones at least, could trickle down in cost and become standard practice even for smaller businesses. It's a real-time case study of how investing in technology can transform operations on a grand scale. Now, after hearing about big investments like AI agents and large-scale rollouts, let's look at the other side of the coin. Not every company is in expansion mode. In fact, some are scaling back. The economic landscape has some storm clouds, and they're starting to burst in the form of job cuts and caution signs. Here's how the tech world and beyond are reacting to broader economic pressure. The contrast is striking. As fast food giants double down on tech and automation, many major employers elsewhere are slashing jobs at an alarming rate. This February alone saw the highest number of job cuts in nearly 5 years. Roughly 172,000 positions were eliminated across various sectors in just 1 month. That sudden spike has economists and business leaders on alert, questioning what might really be happening beneath the surface of an economy that, on the face of it, was looking fairly stable. Leading this wave of cuts was a U.S. government initiative bluntly named the Department of Government Efficiency, ironically abbreviated as DOGE. It alone trimmed over 63,000 federal positions. That's not just a minor belt tightening. It's a fundamental shift in how the government is sizing its workforce, and it signals that budget constraints and cost cutting are front and center. And yes, the acronym is the same as the Doge meme, but this is real life. Unfortunately, no funny dog involved in those decisions. The private sector isn't far behind in pulling back. A number of major retailers have announced significant workforce reductions slated for March. Joann Fabrics, for instance, and Walgreens are two big names that decided to cut thousands of jobs. These brick-and-mortar retailers are clearly feeling the squeeze. They're up against rising costs, shifts in consumer behavior, like more online shopping, and in some cases, dwindling foot traffic. When a company like Walgreens, which is practically a fixture in every town, starts cutting jobs, it underscores how much pressure traditional retailers are under to streamline and save costs wherever possible. What makes this wave of layoffs extra worrying is the timing. These cuts are coinciding with the implementation of steep new tariffs on imports from countries like Canada, Mexico, and China. We're talking tariffs on a range of goods, from raw materials like steel and aluminum to finished products like automotive parts and consumer electronics. For businesses already operating on thin margins, these tariffs are like getting hit by a second punch right after the first. Higher import costs can lead to higher prices or lower profit margins, neither of which bode well when you're trying to stabilize your business. In short, a lot of companies are bracing for a tougher environment. They're cutting labor costs now and preparing for supplies and materials to get more expensive in the near term. The Federal Reserve has noticed these warning signs and has started to strike a more cautious tone about the economy. They've been worried about persistent inflation that just isn't fading away, combined with hints that growth is slowing down. That's a tricky combo for them to handle because typically the tools to fight inflation can slow growth even more. One Fed official, Patrick Harker, president of the Philadelphia Fed, went on record saying that declining business confidence and consumer confidence are flashing warning lights on the dashboard of the economy. In plain English, when people start feeling unsure about the economy, they spend less and invest less, which can become a self-fulfilling prophecy leading to an actual slowdown. Harker's point is that these signals shouldn't be ignored, and the Fed might need to be careful with any further interest rate moves. Wall Street and investors are already reacting to all this uncertainty. The NASDAQ Composite, which is an index heavily weighted toward tech stocks, has dropped about 7.5% since mid-February. That's a significant dip in a short time, and it suggests that many investors are moving their money into safer assets like bonds or cash because they're worried about the near future. When you see a tech index fall like that, it often means people fear that companies, especially high-growth tech firms, might see lower earnings or face tougher conditions soon. In other words, a lot of folks seem to be anticipating rougher economic waters ahead, and they're adjusting their strategies accordingly. So what does all of this mean for you as a business owner or tech professional trying to plan ahead? It's a bit of a balancing act. On one hand, the competitive pressure to invest in efficiency-boosting technology, like the AI systems we've been talking about, is still there. In fact, if labor gets more expensive or scarce, automation and AI become even more attractive. For many companies, adopting AI and automation might shift from being a cool competitive advantage to a sheer necessity for staying afloat. On the other hand, the possibility of an economic downturn means you also need to be cautious. Companies are wise to build up a cushion, whether that's extra savings, more flexible budgets, or backup plans to weather any storms that might be coming. These trade tensions and job cuts are reminders that external factors like policy changes and global events can quickly change the business landscape. Analysts are warning that the new tariffs could disrupt global supply chains significantly. That might drive up costs, potentially fueling more inflation, and hurt corporate earnings, especially in industries that rely on global manufacturing and parts. Think about consumer electronics or automobile makers, which are very exposed to international supply issues. If you're in the tech hardware business, for instance, you should be mapping out alternative suppliers or preparing for component price hikes. In short, uncertainty is high and prudent planning is crucial. For business leaders digesting these mixed signals, the message is to stay vigilant and flexible. This economic climate calls for a dual approach, offense and defense. On the offense side, you continue investing in innovations that can drive efficiency, improve customer experience, and open up new opportunities like those AI tools or automation projects that could save money or generate revenue. On the defense side, you shore up your operations to be resilient. That means diversifying supplier networks so you're not reliant on one overseas factory, being strategic about pricing and expenses, and preserving capital where you can. It's a tough needle to thread, no doubt, but finding that balance between embracing technology and safeguarding your business against economic headwinds will be key to navigating whatever 2025 throws at us. As we wrap up today's Insight Stream, we're looking at a tech landscape that's moving incredibly fast, while the economy is sending some mixed signals. The key theme for 2025 is likely finding the sweet spot between innovation and caution. Businesses that invest smartly in AI and automation, the kinds of technologies that boost efficiency and enhance customer experience, stand to gain a lot. These investments can be the difference in operating leaner, faster, and more personalized than competitors. But at the same time, the recent warning signs mean companies should keep some powder dry and be ready for potential turbulence. The Federal Reserve's cautious stance is a big clue. With inflation sticking around and confidence wavering, it's wise to prepare for multiple scenarios. In practice, that means things like diversifying your suppliers so you're not caught off guard by tariffs or shortages, being sensible with pricing and spending, and still pushing forward with tech upgrades that offer real bang for the buck in terms of productivity. It's a tall order. Juggle cost cutting and innovation, but it's doable with careful planning. Ultimately, those who can strike that balance, embracing the future with tech and safeguarding their operations, will be in a strong position to thrive. It's about being agile and strategic. Double down on what gives you an edge, but always have a plan B for when the economic winds change. For Insight Stream, I'm Louis Bertolucci. Stay tuned for next week's breakdown of the latest tech news that actually matters to your business. See you then.